Captain's log, stardate December 8, 1987. The crew have just accomplished a boring mission on a planet where no man has gone before. Their task? To improve the welfare and productivity of the Iron Chicken and the Soup Dragon, free-range farmed by the clangers using outdated housing and archaic husbandry systems.
Message from the landing. Transport. Italian ryegrass. Oh no. Dry matter 60%, fibre 40%, ME 11.5, protein 20%.
Jeez, I think he's having a cosmic orgasm.
Those farm trek days for 3rd years on Thursday afternoon.
Come on, Snotty, get on with it.
Sorry, Captain. Transport.
I wasn't expecting a Spanish Inquisition. Nobody expected that. Transport. There's your weapon. Haven't I seen you somewhere before? The owner, isn't it?
It's Cinderella, actually. Where am I, anyway? The last thing I remember was the exploding cow.
Ah, let me introduce you to the Farm Trek Enterprise. I myself am Captain John F. Webbles. Vet MB, PhD, M/D 14.3. My bold crew. You call it bold, go ahead. My crew. At this minute, returning from a pretty heroic mission to investigate the plight of the Iron Chicken and the Soup Dragon on the planet of the Clangers. E.F. Shoemaker, The Profit of Economics for the Human Face, wrote in Small is Beautiful of economics as if the people mattered.
So what?
Oh, well, sounds pretty impressive anyway. My bold crew. Stop calling this bold or I'll blunt you, Greyhead. Very expensive scientific development to consider the 25 freedoms laid down by the Soup Dragon Welfare Council, of which I am, of course, the most important member. Now, young lady, seeing as we have a few moments together, let us consider the specific nutritional requirements of the Iron Chicken within the constraints of crude ore intake. Naturally, it follows that his gross true mineral intake should be in a fixed proportion to his basal endogenous iron loss, which is itself related by a power of 3/4 to his mean squared takeoff velocity of normal gravity. This factor in turn, divided by his gross energy requirements at rest, minus total absorbed amino ammonium for wild production. only apparent measurement for beak tail length at 5 weeks of age, which is, of course, we all know, the most important factor in his welfare. Now, you must bear in mind, young lady, on my last ego trip to the icy wastes of Canada, these figures were totally different. So, young lady, this seems a little overawing for such a pretty young thing. Half a dozen ball bearings per bird per day will suffice nicely.
Isn't he wonderful? So smooth. So sophisticated. What a wonderful man. But he is going a bit grey. And, what's the scut?
Awesome, nothing about it. Hey, got it, Beans. Up for what's not it?
I think I'm in control now. Transport. Landing party safety research, Captain. Peck off, cropped off, the bonehead reporting.
Are we going then? Are we going then?
Well, dear, I'm afraid we've already been.
What do you mean? Me? I couldn't get a babysitter. And I'm sure you said you were going to organise it.
Well, yes, dear, but...
It's all right. Anyway, you sat the last day left. Wasn't as if she smashed up the space cruiser that badly. Oh well, now you've been, you might as well tell me all about it.
Okay, gang, let's go to the upper seminar room and debrief.
Oh, does that mean I can do a movie?
Right then, First Officer Bonehead. Let's have the findings of your report.
My pleasure, Captain. Well, we thought the best way to describe what we found was by illustrating our investigation with some slides. We arrived on the planet suitably equipped, but unfortunately, Snotty beamed us down to the wrong place, so we had to spend some time looking for the claxes. At last, we found our client. There you go. Anyway, he then proceeded to show us around his estate. The farmhouse in my department, of course. As you can see, things are absolutely terrible for the iron chicken. There's no insulation. There's no temperature regulation, and of course there's no ventilation whatsoever. Altogether a totally disastrous investigation.
And right for the stock of council income in this housing undoubtedly decreases the efficiency of egg production. You're a fourth here. What's the relationship between egg production and temperature? You don't remember the figures? I suggest you read my autobiography. Great chicken statistics I know.
Well, I then proceeded to take some temperature measurements, Captain.
Oh, well, you could have put some clean ones on. You had those on all last week.
As you can see, this method of temperature regulation is quite unacceptable on welfare grounds because of distress that causes the climate.
Up yours, Stop!
The other reason for poor egg production in the iron chicken is that clangers were unable to sex it. Their eating detection rates were poor. Not surprising that the iron chicken egg displays each day for 15 seconds with 21-day cycles. Perhaps we might show these today, do it.
Well, maybe later, Peck-off, if you're sure your heart can still stand it at your age. Anyway, detection would be poor. They never even looked at the chickens after 10 o'clock.
So what did you do about this?
Well, Peck-off taught them how to sex the chickens.
And then we built them a new environmental chicken house. And in tests, 8 out of 10 chickens who expressed a preference said they preferred it.
Well, did you pay any attention to the soup dragon?
Oh, of course, Captain. But she was rather shy and retiring and proved difficult to find. In fact, while we were looking for her, we came across an unidentified alien. Eventually, we found the soup dragon's lair and managed to get just one picture of her. And record her mating call.
What was the problem with the soup dragon?
Well, Captain, the Clanders had had enough of tomato soup and were bored of it. So, using genetic recombination, I was able to clone an XXY chimera capable of producing minestrone with croutons. The breeding program is difficult to initiate, even with my experience, as there appears to be only one soup dragon in existence.
Stop making that noise, Bristol.
Shut up, Snotty. I had enough time for a 3-day test match while you were trying to beam us up.
Yes, that was great fun until Peckov spoiled it by taking Zulu off for a walk. you know, I think that noise is coming from my naff gadgets bag. I better just have a quick look inside. Oh my word! Oh my God! Oh, hello. Mr. Blacker, let me introduce you to my captain. We've got to get him away. He's going absolutely crazy.
Sorry, Captain. I seem to have been Cinderella away as well. But there seems to be a clanger on the starboard bow.
Sounds like a cue for a song.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, trekking across the countryside.
Looking out for animals, searching far and wide.
Oh, trekking across the countryside.
Staring at our Wellingtons, we'd rather be inside.
A clanger on the starboard bow, starboard bow, starboard bow. Clangers on the starboard bow, prop.
Oh, trekking across the countryside.
Looking out for animals, searching far and wide.
Oh, trekking across the countryside.
Staring at our Wellingtons, we'd rather be inside.
Well, I'm the greatest of the crew of the crew. Well, I'm the greatest of the crew of the crew, I am.
Clangers on the starboard bow, starboard bow, starboard bow. Clangers on the starboard bow, prop. Oh, trekking across the countryside.
Looking out for animals, searching far and wide.
Oh, trekking across the countryside.
Staring at our Wellingtons, we'd rather be inside.
It's life, John, but not as we know it, not as we know it. It's life, John, but not as we know it, not as we know it, John.
Well, I'm the greatest of the crew of the crew. Well, I'm the greatest of the crew. I am.
Clangers on the starboard bow, starboard bow, starboard bow. Clangers on the starboard bow, prop.
Come on, everybody!
Oh, trekking across the countryside. Looking out for animals.
Come on!
Far and wide. Oh, trekking across the countryside. Staring at our Wellingtons, we'd rather be inside.
Come on!
Oh, trekking across the countryside. Looking out for animals, searching far and wide. Oh, trekking across the countryside. Staring at our Wellingtons, we'd rather be inside.
isn't it, Alex?
I'll say it's that gravel pit on being one again.
Now, you appear to be right then, in fact, Alex. That's peculiar, huh? I wonder how he got here.
Go on, honey. You said controls, Doctor. You tell me.
That's not strictly true, you see, Alex. I set the controls of the Tardac to semi-automatic. She locks onto a signal and then, woof, as it were. I'm not quite sure. Fetch me the mobile command centre over the Tardac, please, Alex. Do hope the tedium delirium alloy crystal isn't malfunctioning again. I'll have to check up on that one. I believe, Alex, we must assess our situation. If you recall, we started our little mission up here on the planet Therapy. We then passed through the adrenergic system.
Nice bunch, weren't they? Very understanding.
Yes, they were very sympathetic, you might say. From there, you recall we had two choices. We could either have gone to PGF2 Alpha, or we could have gone to Clopra.
So where the mites come from, Doctor?
Yes, that's in fact true, Alex. You know them then, do you?
Yeah, better Clopra once. Nice girl.
How fascinating. If you recall, we in fact went to PGF2 Alpha. There, I believe we went through... Where was the hour colour check? I think it was. Yes, just across here. Hyperspace.
Go there, centrally depressed. Peripherally too, I reckon. Hey, Doctor.
Hey, yeah, where was that, Alex?
I reckon old O'Brien can do this short 100 feet low for two.
Right you are then, Alex.
Go on then, old son. This will put a crimp in your short and curly. Full access.
Your head appears to have exploded.
Remember that one? Kids will love it.
Alex, I think here.
What's that?
Here, see? Allow me to explain. What I believe has happened is that we have slipped through a tiny loophole in the space-time continuum. I believe that our entire gross energy has been transformed into pure hot air. Allowing it to slip through a tiny chink in existence.
What, like a cosmic heart?
Precisely. Precisely so. You know what this means, don't you? It means that we have just interfaced with a foreign bloc and come out alive.
Did we survive?
I think we must both have been subconsciously staring at the ground with totally blank minds. It's the only known way to avoid undergoing central ensilement and secondary cerebral fermentation.
Yeah, what's this here, Doctor?
What's that then, Alex?
Your name on it.
Alex, you know what this is?
Kingswood, were they?
No, Alex. It's my chair. Preclinical chair.
Cool.
It means, Alex, it doesn't mean doctor anymore, it means professor.
Cool. Well, I turn it for the books. Well done, doctor. Now, perhaps you're a professor, you'll be able to sort this mess out and do something relevant, won't you? Go on, show us how to walk on water like all the other professors here.
No, Alex, it's only Jim Pitts to walk on water. Maybe being a professor doesn't really help you get out of proper trouble. All it means is that you can create lots of trouble of your own. Convince everybody else that it's someone else's fault, that you're all in it together, and then leave in and get them out.
Oh, great. So what do we do now then?
I don't know. Go for a jelly, baby.
Tom, don't call me baby.
You want to have a look in the TARDIS? See if you can find anything else on the main console. I'll have a look in the mobile command center.
Cool, what's this? Chloramphenicol, if in doubt, use first. Ampicillin, terrapleadin-mycin, naphomycin, bloody penicillin. Oh, there's more interesting things in gateways.
Alex. Drug abuse is a serious matter. I'll have it on my ship. Let's have a bit more refinement.
Got a drop kit. Just reminded me when I was in practice, I used to believe all that sort of thing. That was one gullible weekend, I can tell you. What's this here, Doctor?
What's that, Alex? KC. How are you? Yes.
There's a message coming out.
Yes, you're right. Let me see what it says. Gamma, 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 gamma. She's been marking dissertations again, Alex. Gamma, gamma. Beta? She must have read that one.
Yeah, well, how does that help us, Doctor?
It doesn't. But I know what might. If I can find out what the Tarnak was honing in on, we might have solved our little mystery. A few simple adjustments will be all that is necessary. I have it. And I have my greatest dates. Do you have the great list, Alex? I must have consulted.
Yeah, Doctor.
Thank you. Yes. Pasturella, Francisella, Coxiella, Ramamella, Foraxella, Brucella, Salmon. Alex, we have been greatly misled. Our list of things to zonk out of the universe does not appear to include Cinderella.
Mystery over then.
Yep. Come on, let's go.
Where to?
I don't know. I fancy going to a proper pantomime myself.
Yeah, me too. Before we go, Doctor, there's one thing that's always puzzled me.
What's that then, Alex?
Why do you always jangle that stuff in your pocket?
Well, Alex. And no sound came out. I'd get an awful lot of funny looks, wouldn't I?
know they've got me a new hi-fi to play with. I've got it in here somewhere. Oh, here it is. Treble and bass on this one, I see. You know, we never had any of this before the war. You're still a boy. Playing hide and seek in Carmarthen Market. You know, I had an aunt in Carmarthen once.
And Gloria, come over here and man, here's what you do. You got the blue, I got the new. Going in the party, you know, the holiday rock. The holiday rock. Hi, 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 holy, holy, holy. I'll do the holiday rock.
Heidi, hi! Oh, God, it's jolly good. I've got a hairdresser's appointment I must go to. Can you take over from here? Of course I can, Peggy. Good evening, campers. Are you ready for this evening's ball? They should be well underway by now. I wonder what's keeping everybody. Oh, look. Here come the green coats.
Does anyone know the cricket score?
You're not worrying about some silly game. Go over there and see to the turkey. Take that girl with you.
Right, I think we can see what needs doing here. I'll then skirt the front end, he throw a prop skirt past his nose. With this scoundrel, we'll be out again in no time.
What's a scope, Mr. Lane?
What's a scope? Good God, have you been on another planet or something? You missed all of my last 17 performances. Did you hear that, Peter?
Amazing, Geoffrey. Quite fascinating. I remember when we had a case like this when I was in Kenya. Quite fascinating. You know, when you play hockey on the equator, the ball feels that much lighter as you're that much further away from the Earth's core.
Ah, Sridhar. I bet he knows the score. Hi, Ray, son on me, eh? Yeah, son, give me a bat.
All these big frantic bottoms and Proctor sports any day.
What doing? Messing around like the beds of children all day. Get up and work it once.
Quite right, Gladys. I always said hockey was a woman's game.
Well, you're late as well, Ted. The draw of the green beige proved too much, I suppose.
Well, never mind about that. Finish your breakfast, girl. This isn't a refectory. It's time to start. Ben! Ben! Where are the decorations? Haven't you brought them?
I think you may have left them in the snooker room, Ted.
Well, that's enough of that. We'll have to make do with what we've got. Ah! These old AVs will do. I knew there was a use for them other than sending students to sleep on Thursday afternoons. Here, Blondie. You can do this. Girls always seem much better than boys at this sort of thing. By the way, have I ever told you about the cattle at Carmarthen Market? They only had one bull then. Ben! These aren't any good, are they? Looks like the man from Devices has come round. By the way, have you heard that right? There was an old man of Devices whose balls were of different sizes. One was so small it was no good at all, and and the other won several prizes.
Hi, my name's Bond. Robert Jones Bond. Nice to grill. This is my assistant, Miss Moneypenny. I'm younger, better dressed, more handsome, and even faster than the previous fella. And I'm working on the suntan.
Well, now you're here, we'd better go and set up the bar. No, you cannot. Go and sweep the floor. How's it coming along there? You remember to allow for the dense space? That turkey will be well stuffed if you haven't.
Oh yes, the Paxil suspension's going really well actually. Hang on though, what's this? Oh, the bloody giblets, they're always down. I've heard of gastrothorax, but finding a neck in the arsehole does seem a bit... Here's a proper neck, ENT in a nutshell. Here you are, Geoffrey, these are yours.
Ah, thank you, Peter. These will do for Simone. Very useful for my cast off, this Simone. I wonder where he is, by the way. Not still asleep in that Newmarket car park. Ah, Simone, no. This is for you. Ah, Geoffrey, old slaphead. I've got to tell you how overjoyed I am to be allowed the responsibility of dealing with the turkey's neck. Please stop behaving again, Geoffrey.
Look, this is absolutely hopeless. We're getting nowhere here, RJ. There's nothing else for it. I'm going to have to go and get the Bible. Now, where's the student? Down there aren't any, and I can't even bleep them tonight as they're at the ball. I'll have to do it myself. I don't believe it. This book's never failed to get me out of a fix before, and it says nothing in here about what we're doing.
I think, if I may be so comfortable as doing the game, the problem seems to be with the optics. I think we need somewhere else in here.
Brilliant! The very person! I'm really sorry, I don't... Your entire lifetime collection of rare and valuable ophthalmic instruments. This distracted me. Aye, Sue. You know, I risk all my instruments when I lend them to you, Houseman. But never mind. There isn't much you can't deduce from a simple hand lens, you know. In fact, if anybody's interested, this little piece of glass is going to use £2,000. I think it's the ideal gift for any poor dear at Christmas. And I think they're rather short-sighted to be without one. Anyway, let's walk here.
You don't need any of these modern little things. We never had them when I was a boy. We did things by the rough measure. You follow? I'll show you how to make a cocktail. Ben, I found another use for those old AVs. Cystic ovaries, crypt orchids, CMs. Get the mother, Ben! Here, boyo. Try this. I call it the Carmarthen Ram.
Just how I like them. Shaken, not stirred.
trying to wake her up in the snacks gallery, having spent all these years in there looking at photographs with the heating on full blast. She's finally run out of oxygen. So has they run out of oxygen?
I think we need a photograph of the turkey. Do you think it's all right like that?
Yes. Let's look at how we're going to take this photograph. This will provide good contrast, since we have the direct beam hitting the turkey, and also the indirect beam reflected off Jeffrey's forehead. Because there always are even more interesting.
Blast! Another student firing off the wrong tube again. I'm afraid we'll have to forget the photograph. There simply isn't time. The chief photographer seems to have sunken into a stupor again. Are the attendants going to plan, Gladys?
Oh yes, they're coming along very nicely, thank you. We've got a new formation dancing team. A lovely couple they are too. They come on really well since last year when the young lad with minor setback. He was footbound for a short while.
I think seeing as we're in need of a bit of time filling here, this gives us an excellent opportunity to revise the anatomy of the guttural pouch of the horse and see it through the endoscope.
Oh look, here they come now.
To the main body of the pouch. One part that pulls back as she doesn't want to take a biopsy of the carotid artery. Round the turn and then split minus line, right to warn you of the hyophone. Proceeding up the wall, we seem to come to a rough patch, which causes a lady a few problems, and she's fallen.
Stop it, Jeff, don't you go hobdaying up. Come here, there. Definite right hind lameness there. Definite right, left hind lameness there. Nothing to do about it. Try nerve blocks. And how to do them. I know, I'll get the ultrasound out.
No, we can't. Something I must tell you.
That you love me?
Oh yes, that as well. It's the ultrasound. It relates to me. It's just a dog. No one else has
Time's getting on. Oh, Gladys, what's happened to Clyde?
Oh, it's my heart throb. Well, he said he'd be a bit late, but he's gone off looking for missing dog meat again.
Can I have some assistance with Christmas tree, please?
Here I am now.
I said assistance, not interference. So you'll do. Come this way, please. Now the Christmas tree is decorated in 3 layers. Firstly, a line of simple interrupted baubles placed just less than a centimetre apart and all hung very short. Secondly, a layer of continuous tinsel through the main body of the tree. And thirdly, to close, a line of simple interrupted fairy lights. Now the star is clear here, on top, and the fairy just here, slightly lateral to the trunk. Now whilst you're doing that, I'm going off to spy on all the other performers and generally wander around making a nuisance of myself. Geoffrey, yet another hot day, I see.
Yes, indeed. In fact, I've moved on to turkeys now. There isn't a single horse in the whole of the south of England that I haven't done. You know, I was just saying to these students before they all fell asleep.
sleep or went home. One can waste a lot of time at this point of the operation, tying off blood vessels. I believe in being bald.
I can see that.
Not for nothing they call me Sanguinous Jeffrey.
So I see. I'm not convinced though. I always insist on meticulous hemostasis myself, and never for less than 3 reasons.
You wait. Take it down at once. You put the fairy on top, not the star. The tree's looking very dehydrated. Have you given it any fluid? I think I'll have to give it some baby bio.
Now you haven't done what I've told you, have you? These aren't baubles, are they? You've been at my esophageal foreign body collection again. I remember William swallowed this one only last week. These ends of tinsel. They're far too long. I could have decorated 6 Christmas trees with these and still had some left over. And the star is supposed to go on top, not the fairy.
But Gladys told me to.
No buts, please. Just do as I say.
What the earth are you doing now, you idiots?
Gladys, you know I always insist on the star on top.
But I think it should be the fairy.
Now look here, Gladys. I know we frequently have differences of opinion. Arguing about the Christmas tree seems a bit stupid, doesn't it? Anyway, it's not a fairy, is it? It's a seasonal image of a mythical figure. We're supposed to be veterinary surgeons, aren't we? Not lay members of the public. In fact, you're not having a very good day-to-day at all, are you, eh?
Technically all right till you came along.
Well, I'll have this. This is an appalling situation. Oh, hell. Now the lights are fused. I think that's enough surgery jokes for one evening. I don't like being pictured in public. I suspect you're actually wondering why my scrotum is so large. The modesty prevails. Modesty. Well, you've been following Cinder's progress throughout this video. And throughout that time, I've had time to get 3 pints down myself. So I think you'll agree her performance so far has not quite met expectations. Well, in this next part of the program, it could change all that, you know. Cinder's herself now has a chance to ask those questions which she would like to ask, and wouldn't we all? From the answers she receives, it's up to her to make a decision. So let's see how she does. Go.
show for you tonight. We've got a lovely, lovely lass and 3 smashing fellas for her to choose from. So come on then, let's go and meet the lads. First we have Mr. Jeffrey, extremely tall person. Only tall, or do like tall men. Sit down. What do you do then, Jeff?
Well, actually, a surprising number of glitzy quiz shows at present.
I gather you have a really curious hobby too.
Come again?
No, not usually. No, it says here that you cut up dead animals on the special table and tell a lot of things from all the bits.
Oh, yes, that's right, yes, yes.
Oh, isn't that exciting? Hey, everybody, we've never had a druid on the programme before, have we? Right then, let's see who's next. There's someone called the Doctor.
Professor, if you like.
Do sit down, do sit down. And so what do you do then, Professor?
Well, an awful lot of things, really. There must be a simple answer, I suppose. For you.
Oh, thank you very much. But it says here you're into drugs.
Yes, that is in fact correct, yes.
Oh, what a spaced out character, eh? Right then, who's last tonight then? Peter Quits, where are you?
Good day and late, everybody. Very kind of my way out of a preventive medicine seminar. They make blood sports, they're horrid.
Welcome to the show. Tell us what you do then.
What did I do? Wow. I suppose I keep people happy.
This fella, isn't he? Right then, everybody. Now's the time for us to meet our lucky lass tonight. Oh, she got nice hair. Come down, love, and sit down. So what's your name and what do you do?
My name's Cinderella,
Oh, what a nice name.
and I'm a vet student at Bristol.
Oh, great. Hey, ain't she lucky, everybody? It must be a lot of fun.
I said a vet student, not an art student. It's all right most of the time, it's just tonight, really.
Oh, what's up with tonight, Chuck?
Well, everybody else has gone to the surgery ball. And I'm on PTU and I've got to stay at home by the phone.
Oh, dear. Oh, well. Never mind about that. We're going to have a lot of laughs tonight. Right, now's the time for Cinderella to ask these 3 smashing fellas over here some questions, and then she's going to decide which one she's going to have as her blind date. What's your first question?
My first question, contestant number 1. If you invited me around for a meal, what would you cook for me?
Ah, yes, cooking. Well, I'm more of a gastrologist than a gastronomist. Although I am into brains, so I suppose I could do brains on toast, perhaps.
How about you, number 2?
Cooker, yes. Well, in fact, at one time of day, I did used to do an awful lot with fish fingers. Come on, kids, they're 100% brine cod. So I think fish fingers could probably get you very high on the menu.
How about you, number 3?
He's still there, number 3.
Oh, well, I'd totally forgotten you were coming. It's so difficult finding a kitchen as well. It must be under there somewhere. I can try and find it if you really want. hungry.
Oh well, so they're very domesticated tonight, aren't they? What's the second question then, Chuck?
The next question, question number 2, is, if I was going to redecorate my house, how do you think you may be able to help me?
Ah, yes, well, that's good, because I might well be able to help you. See, I do a bit of painting myself. I meant to bring along for you, in fact. It's the microbiology department on a busy day. It's a still life. I might be able to brighten your place up a bit, yes.
How about number 1?
Ah, yes, decorating. I'm not too good with wallpaper, although I am good at painting ceilings. The problem is, my colour schemes never really seem to match.
Oh, Morris. I like the shirt. It makes me feel all nostalgic. So what's your answer, number 3?
Well, if you saw my little room, you probably wouldn't think yours needs decorating at all. Wallpapering, but I tended to get wallpaper paste all in my beard. It seemed to hurt it though. I could probably help you best by staying away.
Oh well, so now's your final question. Well, what's it going to be?
My last question is, if you're actually in character, where would you take me for a day out? Asking number 1.
Ah, yes, having fun. Well, I suppose I would take you to a Motorhead concert. I've got a friend with a spare ticket, actually.
Yes, well, in fact, I could probably take you anywhere you wanted to in the Tarnac, but there's no guarantee you actually arrive there. Of course, you could spend all day wandering around inside the Tarnac. You know, it's infinitely bigger inside than it's out.
I think it's quite the opposite. Well, things do tend to dematerialise in there anyway. I can never find them.
Oh, come along now, number 3. Where would you take her?
Well, I like messing around in hose. I'd take her to the PTU.
Oh well, love, that's your last question. Now's the time for Cinderella to make her mind up. I'm sure you're going to find it really difficult, hey, Chuck?
I'm really sorry, Sonia. I'm sure they're all really nice people in their own way. But none of them are what I really want.
Okay. Oh, hey, lads, I'm really sorry. You must be Why don't we all go out somewhere afterwards? Make up for it, like?
Yeah, is that the time?
Don't go and spoil the party. I actually think preventive medicine is quite important. So it's really going to be getting back.
Alex will be wondering where I am, in fact.
Oh, okay.
And actually, I've got some fascinating microgliosis slang.
You're a load of lovely lads. Hey, love, it's all a bit naff, really, innit? Don't look so upset. You look like a final year.
I am a final year.
Oh dear. Well then, you must have found someone in 4 years. I mean, we could have another show. I mean, if she don't find someone, at least I might. Hey, have you seen?
It's him down there.
Oh, where?
The man from my past. They think he's gorgeous.
Oh, what a smasher. Hey, he's a real hunk. Tell you what, go and get him and bring him up here, hey? Where?
Sun's come up. I nearly stayed in counting chickens tonight.
And she nearly stayed in because the only reason she's here is because she ain't got a breed.
Gosh.
I feared before he was mere chicken feed. Him, an interactive video megastar.
He's not blind, look. He just wears them to intimidate people.
Hey, Celia, come on. Where are we going to go and interact tonight?
Well, I think we all know, don't we? We're going on a romantic, moonlit, farm walk. You're going to the surgery ball.
Great. Let's go then, my dear.
Everybody. And so we just have to thank you all very much. Right, okay, so ta-ra, and thanks a lot.
Tell me more.
evening. So,
and just holding the space for us. Would you like to come up? continue upstairs this evening with a disco and a bar. Thank you all very much for coming.